Cathy McLeish here again, and this is the third part of our series on mentorship. And I really want to address the idea of why would I go out and get a woman and bring her into my life and tell her all the intimate details of my life? And of course, you wouldn't do that in the first week. You're going to do that instinctively over a period of time if it feels right for you. So in the second part of the series, I talked about where you might grab or pull that woman from. And if that's not a comfortable idea for you, I would suggest that maybe you just hire a coach or a mentor. And you can do that even online. I did it one time. It's a little bit more expensive, but it checks a lot of boxes in that you're paying for someone that is not connected to your life at all. And this person will definitely hold you accountable in a professional way. They've been trained to do that. So it's their skill set, and they're not gonna, make some of the mistakes that somebody that is just trying to do this for the first or the second time might. And so that is another idea. But why would you do it in the first place? Anytime I bring something into my life, there has got to be a good reason to do it. And sometimes it's just the pain of not doing it. Pain is a great motivator for me. But other times it's like, I want to add to my life. I want my life to change, and I'm willing to walk through just a little bit of uncomfortable pain to do that. So why would I? Here are some incentives. One, if I were to bring a mentor into my life, I start to share just a little bit at a time. I have coffee, I have a phone call, and I share a little bit about myself, maybe my family dynamics, my girlfriends, my work, environment. And I share those things, and they kind of pile up. So I would look at it like putting money in the bank, putting $100 a week in the savings account. And then when something happens, when I wreck my car, when the roof starts to leak, when I want to redo the landscaping, I have a chunk of cash to get to tap into. And that is what it is like with my mentor. She is, have you ever had a problem and you wanted to tell Jane, but Jane doesn't know anything about your family? And then you might want to tell Sue, but Sue doesn't know anything about your work environment. And the two, in this problem are, combined. And so a mentor has information from here, information from here, information from here and here. And they can pull on that information without you having to spend 2 hours catching them up on the details of your life. So I put that money in the bank, week after week, talking to my mentor. And then when I have a difficult problem, I can call her up and say, now you know this, and you know that, and you know this, so here's what has happened. And that is very beneficial, because sometimes just having another person shine a light on one of my problems, puts it in a whole nother perspective or light, and I can come to a solution just with more insight. So that, in the first place, having a person that knows a lot and I can cash in on that is a very good incentive. Two, accountability. I can say I want to do a lot of things all day long. And if nobody holds me accountable, if I don't have to answer to anybody next week that I said I was going to start, my landscaping, I was going to start a health regimen that was different than last year. If I don't have anybody that I have told, this is my plan and this is what I want to do, there's nobody to check in on me to see if I'm doing that. Now, again, it doesn't mean that my mentor is the boss of my life. She's not going to tell me to do anything. She's not going to be mad if I don't do anything. She's just going to be like this cheering section for me. And my mentor cheered me all the way back to finish my college degree. She cheered me into marriage counseling that helped my marriage to get so much stronger. And it's just things like that on my own, I think about it, but maybe I don't, take that first step. I don't make that phone call. I don't register, and nothing changes. I just talk about change, but months and years go by and nothing changes. And when things change, not only do I get to enjoy that change, but I get to enjoy that time after that change. So if nothing changes, I have lost those years of me doing nothing, rather than having a mentor, wanting to make a change, making the change, and starting to reap the benefits this year, not 4 years from now, when I finally get around to doing it on my own. So accountability is a very huge thing. And I would say that's a great incentive. Another incentive for me, and it's kind of sentimental, and that is, I don't really believe any earthly human can give us unconditional love. We're just too tied up in our own stuff. So having a woman that is almost the closest thing to unconditional love in my life has been such a joy, such a benefit. And the reason I think that some of that can happen is this no connectedness to my finances, no connectedness to my family dynamics. They can sit on the sidelines and they can love me forward without having to pay any prices for the ups and downs of my life. And I have yearned for that. Sometimes our relationships with our mother, our sisters, or maybe we don't have a mother available or sisters available. Any dynamics like that can stifle a woman in her growth, because those close relationships with women help to love us forward. They help us to see the possibilities. And that's what I like to do when I mentor someone. I see things in them that they cannot see themselves. And when someone does that for me, I walk towards that vision of who I am, and I become more. So those are some really wonderful reasons why you might want to pick up the phone and ask a woman to coffee. It is a little bit difficult, but on the other side, there is so much benefit for me, for my life, and the lives of all the people that I love. So thanks for listening. Subscribe and keep following. And we're going to do a few more on the series on mentorship and see if we can't get there in the end. Thanks.